You wake up coughing in a room made of mud. The air tastes like mold and smoke. Your baby's crying. The pig's chewing what used to be your only blanket. You don't move right away. Your joints argue first, then your stomach joins in. Empty again. You reach for bread, find dirt instead. Same thing, really. The roof leaks on your head. The floor leaks from your roof. Everything's wet, except your throat. That's been dry since last week. You look at your hands, cracked, swollen, raw. They don't even look human anymore. Tools that break faster than they heal. There's no mirror to show what's left of you. Outside, the bell rings. That sound. It's not calling. It's commanding. You drag yourself up, because that's what life is now. Obedience on repeat. The same mud, the same ache, the same stink of survival. A rat runs over your foot. Lucky thing. It gets to eat the grain you harvested. Someone shouts your name, but it isn't really yours. It's the one the reeve uses when he remembers you exist. Then it hits you. You're not the mistress of this house. You're not a guest here. You belong to this filth. You're the property that breathes. You're a peasant woman. This isn't a nightmare. It's Tuesday. Life's simple here, if you follow the rules. Rule number 1, never stop working. The sun decides when you wake. The Lord decides when you sleep. You just obey, because resting looks too much like rebellion. The bell rings. You move. The reeve shouts. You bow. The priest preaches poverty from behind silver candlesticks. Everyone's holy as long as you're hungry. Rule number 2, never eat before the men. Even if you cooked it, even if your stomach sounds like it's begging for mercy. You ladle the stew, if you can call that swamp, food, and serve him first. He doesn't thank you. He doesn't have to. The best chunks vanish into his mouth like they never existed. You wait, smiling like a good ghost, until he's done. Then you scrape what's left. Cloudy broth, burned scraps, a beet, if heaven's feeling generous. You chew in silence, pretending it's enough, pretending you don't notice that you feed everyone but yourself. That's the rule. You cook, you starve, you smile. Hell of a system, isn't it?
Rule number 3, don't ask why. Questions make you dangerous, and dangerous women end up praying for forgiveness with broken fingers. So you keep your mouth shut and your back bent. The men plow, you sow, weed, reap, feed, wash, patch, mend, birth, and bury. The work never ends, only changes names. You don't own the field, the hut, or even the bread you bake. The Lord's tithe takes the grain, the church takes the soul, and you're left with crumbs and guilt. Rule number 4, be grateful. You're alive, aren't you? That's supposed to be enough. You get one holy day a week to kneel in cold stone and thank God for misery. The air smells of manure and smoke, but you stop noticing. The blisters on your hands split, then harden like the land, both calloused, both owned by someone else. Rule number 5, never talk back. The reeve carries a stick, not for balance. You've seen it kiss too many shoulders to forget. One word too loud, and you learn how obedience sounds. The Lord rides past sometimes, clean boots, clean conscience. Doesn't look at you, doesn't have to. Why would he? You're the background of his estate, the moving dirt that keeps it running. Rule number 6, die quietly. No doctor comes here, no priest hurries for the dying. You go into the ground like a dropped tool, replaced, forgotten, never mourned. That's the cage, not the walls, but the routine. The same dawn, the same hunger, the same commands. You could scream, but the fields would only echo it back. You aren't living, you're maintaining the world that crushes you. And the cruelest part? You start thinking that's normal. The day doesn't start, it continues. You never really sleep, you just stop moving until the cold wakes you. The bell rings, and that means you've already wasted time. You roll out of the straw, step into the slop, and hope it's only mud. The child stirs beside you, small and silent. She's learning early, crying doesn't help. You light the fire, the smoke bites your eyes, the heat goes nowhere. You cough, spit black. The air inside your chest feels heavier than the air outside. You pour the slop into a pot, stir, taste nothing. It's not food, it's delay. You eat so you can keep working. You don't eat to live, you eat so dying takes longer.
Outside, the men are already in the fields. Their shouts sound like commands even when they're not meant for you. You carry the water, drag the basket, break your back under wood that isn't yours. The mud swallows your shoes. You pull them out, hear the suck of the earth laughing at you. Somewhere behind you, the reeve watches, that half man whose job is reminding you what you already know. You're at the bottom, and the bottom still has room. He shouts, you bow, you keep moving. He doesn't even need to threaten. The fear's already inside you, doing his work for him. The hours grind together. Morning turns to noon because your shadow shifts, not because anything changes. You hear the bell again. Time for your husband's meal. His, not yours. You run home, heat what's left and watch him eat with eyes that forgot what hunger means. He doesn't thank you. He doesn't need to. Gratitude's not part of survival. He leaves. You clean. The child cries. You hush her with a crust harder than bone. She gums it, drools, sleeps again. You go back out. The field looks endless, but the Lord's steward says it's small. You peasants exaggerate, he tells you, boots clean enough to see your reflection in them. You look away not because you're afraid, but because he's right. You do exaggerate. You call this living. By dusk, your hands don't feel like hands. They're tools, cracked, swollen, useless for anything gentle. You rinse them in the trough, water brown with dirt and animal piss. It burns. You don't flinch. You look around, faces like yours, bent, grey, hollow. You used to think you were a person. Now you're part of the scenery, a moving piece of the same broken picture. The children in the village play with sticks and stones. You envy them. Not for their joy, for their ignorance. They still think the world changes when the sun moves. At night, you sit by the fire, trying to warm your bones. The priest's words echo in your skull. Suffering is a gift. If that's true, you must be heaven's favorite. You laugh, a dry, cracked sound. The kind of laugh that turns into a cough halfway through. Your husband mumbles something about taxes. You nod, though you stopped listening months ago. The word tax doesn't mean anything anymore. It's just another way of saying less food.
He falls asleep fast. The kind of sleep that belongs to people too tired to dream. You stay awake counting the sounds. Wind, pigs, coughing, breath. It's all the same rhythm. Slow, sick, endless. You touch your own face, feel the grime, the cracked lips, the lines that showed up too early. You wonder if you ever look different. You decide it doesn't matter. Tomorrow will smell like the same sweat, the same filth, the same bell. You close your eyes. You tell yourself it's rest. It isn't. Rule number 7. Don't think too much. Thinking makes the cage visible, but even now, part of you can't help it. You picture the manor, stone walls, fine plates, soft laughter. The lady inside wears linen clean enough to blind you. She prays to the same God, eats from the same earth. You built her comfort with your pain, and she thanks him for blessing her hands. Hell of a joke, isn't it? You starve, she sins. You rot, she repents. And somehow you're both saved. The bell tolls again. Not for prayer, not for death, just for the next round of obedience. You stand, because what else would you do? It starts with the smell. Rot. Not from death, from life that refuses to die properly. The bread is smaller, harder, grayer. You chew it slow, hoping your stomach forgets the difference. It doesn't. You boil water and call it soup. The children stare at the pot like it's a miracle. You ladle out steam and pretend it's food. The men grumble about God testing them again. Of course he is. He's got nothing better to do than starve peasants for sport. The miller says the harvest failed. The Lord's barn says he's lying. But who's going to argue from the mud? You just nod, like everyone else. Lips cracked, eyes down. The priest says it's punishment for pride. Pride? You haven't looked in a mirror since your wedding, and even then you wished you hadn't. You still go to the fields. You always do. Starve, cry, rot, doesn't matter. The weeds still need pulling. The soil still wants blood. You work slower now. Bones too light, head too heavy. The reeve notices. He always does. He rides past and asks, if you're lazy or just stupid. You smile, because either answer earns the stick. He calls you Burl, though you're 30 and look 50. You cutsy in the mud like it's holy water. That's survival. Humiliation disguised as manners. The sun's a knife, the ground's stone. You dig until your palms peel open. The dirt stings the wounds, but it's honest pain. At least it means something's still alive in you.
Then the coughing begins. First the neighbour's child, thin thing, ribs like fence posts. Then another, then yours. You tell her to breathe slower. She tries. The sound it makes is wrong. That night she burns, skin slick with sweat, lips trembling. You press a damp cloth to her mouth, whisper every lie you know. It's just a fever. She'll wake soon. She has to. But dawn comes cruel and silent. Her chest stays still. You bury her behind the hut. No priest, no blessing, just mud swallowing flesh. You cover her with the same soil that starved her. It feels right. The flies arrive before you finish. They always do. You sit there until the world stops spinning. No one comes. No one cares. You're just another woman without a child, which means more work for everyone else. The next morning you still have to work. The bell rings. Always the bell. Grief doesn't grant you hours off. The reeve sees you and nods. That's all the comfort you get. That nod says, good, you're still useful. Then the collectors come, fat, polished bastards in boots cleaner than your drinking water. They take what's left, grain, hens, rags. You tell them you have nothing. One grins. The other reaches for you. You spit in his face. He hits you so hard your ears ring. You taste iron and dirt. You don't wipe it away. Your husband doesn't ask what happened. He stares into the fire like it's the only thing still real. You almost envy him. The emptiness looks peaceful. By night, the air's thick with rot. Coughs echo across the village. Every hut sounds the same. Wheezing, crying, praying. You stop praying. The priest says suffering is sacred. Easy for him. His belly's full of holy bread. The Lord says God rewards loyalty. Maybe that's true. His rewards are roof and roast meat. You? Your rewards a shallow grave and a name no one will remember. You start laughing then. Quiet at first, then louder. It sounds wrong. Cracked. Animal. You cover your mouth, but it doesn't stop. Because you finally get it. The world doesn't test you. It eats you. The bell tolls outside. Another one dead. Maybe 2, maybe 3. Doesn't matter. The bell's just the sound of the world clearing space for the next one. You sit there, dirt under your nails, blood on your lips, staring at the fire like it's daring you to stop breathing. You don't. You keep breathing. That's the curse. The first crack isn't the death. It's realizing you're still alive after it. You stop talking first. Words feel heavy now, like stones in your mouth. Everyone around you still mumbles prayers, excuses, promises, but you've run out. Silence is lighter. The body still moves. It doesn't ask for permission. It bends, digs, chews, swallows. The mind just follows, lagging a few steps behind, like a ghost dragging itself through mud. The days start melting together. Rain, dust, smoke, all the same color. You wake, work, sleep, wake. There's no line between them anymore. Then one night, something snaps. You find a rat half dead behind the fire pit. You stare at it too long, thinking it might get up and run. It doesn't. You don't look away. You pick it up. You don't even think before you start. You chew slow. It tastes like dirt and iron. When it's gone, you cry, not because it's wrong, but because you're still hungry. That's when you know you're not starving anymore. You're rotting alive. You start counting rules again, like a prayer in reverse. Rule number 1, never stop working. Rule number 2, never eat before the men. Rule number 3, don't ask why. You hold on to those rules like bones. They rattle in your head when the wind hits the hut. When the collectors come again, you don't beg, you just stare. They take what they want, and you don't move. The one in front laughs, a sound like glass on stone. You almost smile. It's easier than fear. After they leave, you find a handful of grain in the dirt, crushed, half rotten. You eat it anyway. You don't even blow off the dust. Nights get longer. The firewood runs out. The smoke in your lungs feels like a friend, something that still wants to stay. You start hearing things in the dark, footsteps that stop when you breathe too loud, a whisper that sounds like your daughter, asking if it's morning yet. You whisper back, not yet. You stop remembering her face. That's mercy. The others start dying quieter now. No one wails anymore. They just lie down and wait for the air to forget them. The village smells like wet ash and old blood. You keep moving, always moving. The stillness feels like death trying to crawl inside. Sometimes you catch your reflection in a puddle. You almost don't recognize what's staring back. Eyes sunken, mouth cracked. There's mud on your skin that never comes off anymore. You rub and rub until it bleeds, but the dirt wins. It always wins. You used to talk to God. Now you talk to the walls. They listen better. They don't lie. One night, the Reeves dog follows you home. You sit with it in silence. It stares at you, ribs sharp under its fur. You both understand. Neither of you belongs anywhere now. When it dies a week later, you bury it behind the hut. You don't cry. You just say, thank you, and cover it with the same soil that took everything else. Winter breaks your back open. The cold gets inside your bones like laughter. You start counting breaths instead of days. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you forget what number you reached. When the frost melts, the ground looks new, softer somehow. You think maybe you could start again. Then the smell hits, rot and smoke. The village is burning. You don't run, you just watch. The flames crackle like a lullaby. The roofs fall in slow motion. Somewhere, someone screams your name, but it sounds wrong, distant, like it belongs to someone else. You walk toward the river. The water's black and slow. You kneel beside it, touch it. Cold, but alive. It feels like memory, like the world reminding you it's still bigger than you. You dip your hand in, then your face. The reflection ripples away. For a moment, you think you see her, your daughter, standing behind you in the water's skin. You whisper, I'm still here. Then the river moves on, and so do you. You don't pray, you don't curse.
You just keep walking until the ground stops shaking under your feet. And somewhere between the hunger and the silence, between the breathing and the breaking, you realize what you've become. Not a woman, not a sinner, just the last sound the world forgot to swallow. The world doesn't end here. It just forgets you. You stop counting days. You stop caring if the fire dies. You move because your body still remembers how, not because you choose to. Once you prayed. Now the words just fall out. Sound without meaning. You whisper them like chores. The saints never answered, but you keep talking because silence feels heavier. Your hands don't look like yours anymore. Cracked, colorless, a stranger's tools. They bleed and then they don't. The pain used to scream. Now it hums, quiet, steady, a part of you. The village still turns. The bell still calls. Children still cry for mothers who have nothing left to give. You watch them like shadows of something you used to be. They tell you suffering is noble. You almost laugh, but laughter takes breath. Nobility doesn't feed you. It doesn't warm the bed when your husband's gone or stop the rat from chewing through your last sack of grain. The church says God sees everything. You hope he doesn't, because if he does, he's laughing. You used to think you were unlucky. Now you understand luck doesn't exist here. Only order, and you're at the bottom of it. Every movement, every breath serves someone else. The Lord, the priest, the land. You aren't a person. You're maintenance. A body that keeps the world turning just enough for the powerful to rest easy. There's no rebellion left in you. No hate, no rage. Those burned away long ago. What's left is smaller, quieter, shapeless. The part that survives only because it's too tired to die. You watch the sun set behind the manor, the same orange light touching roofs you'll never enter. You wonder what it feels like to live without fear. You'll never know, but here's the truth no priest will tell you. There's no reward waiting after this. No heaven, no peace, no justice. Just another dawn, another bell, another field. And somehow, that truth doesn't scare you anymore. It frees you in the smallest, cruelest way. You see the world for what it is, a pit pretending to be a home, and you're part of it, too deep, too bound to ever climb out. So you keep moving. You lift the bucket. You feed the animals. You clean what never stays clean. Because that's what's left. A life that isn't yours, held together by muscle and habit. The cruelest part? You've forgotten what freedom even felt like.
Morning doesn't greet you, it mocks you. You wake before the rooster because even the animals get to rest longer than you do. Your body's up before your mind, trained like a beaten dog. Congratulations, you've mastered obedience. The air's colder than yesterday, but who's keeping score? You stopped feeling your fingers 2 winters ago. Still, you move, because the world doesn't stop for the likes of you. Your dress? It's not clothing anymore. It's a patchwork of sweat, smoke, and time. But don't worry, no one's looking close enough to care. The ground bites at your feet. The mud clings like it's trying to keep you. Maybe it pities you. That'd make one of you. You move through the morning like a ghost chained to its own bones. Feed the animals, haul the water, scrape the pot. Same routine, different misery. You used to think it was unfair. Now you just call it life. No one thanks you. No one sees you. You become the sound of the world working. Quiet, endless, replaceable. The Lord's men pass by on their clean horses again. Shining boots, full stomachs, empty heads. Their laughter cuts through the fog, sharp and stupid. You lower your eyes before they can meet yours, not out of respect, out of habit. The world likes you best when you're invisible. The bell rings, always the bell. You're cued to move, to break, to keep pretending this matters. Thinking's dangerous, dreaming's worse. Those were luxuries, and you sold them for another day alive. Good trade, right? You used to be a woman. Now you're a function, a thing that bends, lifts, kneels, obeys. A tool carved out of hunger and fear. You used to have a name. Now you're just woman, or wife, or that one who works. Take your pick. None of them mean you. But the cruelest thing, you don't even hate it anymore. Hate means you still believe something could change. You know better now. You keep your head down because it's the only thing that left that bends without breaking. The fields stretch ahead like punishment written in dirt. You know the rules by heart now. Hell, you are the rules. And the joke? You follow them perfectly. Still, you lose. Every time. The day crawls by, one breath at a time. You don't pray anymore. Even God's probably sick of hearing from you. When the sun drops, the cold comes back. The world forgets you again. You lie down on a bed that's more straw than comfort, waiting for the next round. Tomorrow will look exactly the same. That's the trick. Misery's efficient. Different dawn, same hunger, same cage. Next time, you'll see how the factory girls fared when the machines replaced the fields. Spoiler, progress just found a faster way to starve.